why would someone want to pay money to pay for water? Because we used to have drinking fountains, and but of course now it's ubiquitous, right? Everyone has water bottles and plastic water bottles. It's just a thing people do. But it wasn't something that was a common thing back in the day. But that was an example of the plastics industry pushing this product out on people, recognizing that folks might find this attractive. And what they've done throughout all this time is tell the consumer, it's up to you to go recycle these products. Take these plastic products, feel good about continuing to buy plastics, put it in the recycling bin, and we're going to recycle. It'll get recycled. The truth of the matter is only a very small percentage of the plastic that's out in the consumer waste stream actually gets recycled at the end of the day. But people think that it's getting recycled.
When they put it into the bin.
They put it in the blue bin. In fact, in many ways, it actually makes the recycling system less efficient because so much plastic is being put into the recycling waste bins, and it then creates a whole new cost associated with sorting out the non-recyclable plastics or the stuff where there's no market for recycling. I mean, I did this myself. I love the newspaper, right? You're a newspaper guy. I literally still get the LA Times every day, and it comes in a plastic bag. Used to be that little plastic bag had a recycling symbol. By the way, I don't know why it needs to be in a plastic bag. It never rains, but there we are. It used to always have a little recycling symbol on the plastic bag, and I would dutifully separate it out, put it into the recycling bin, assuming it's got the recycling symbol, it's going to get recycled. Come to find out through my job that actually all these bags are gumming up the system. They're really hard to sort. They end up actually getting into a lot of the paper bales, which contaminate the paper bales. It's part of why one of the many reasons why China didn't want our stuff anymore, because all of this plastic film was getting stuck in other bales of other products and making it much harder. And
the thin plastic ones.
The little thin plastic film that would both gum up the machines, end up in the paper bales, end up in other bales, and make it harder for the whole system to work properly. And it's just one of many examples of how, for most consumers, they want to do the right thing. They've been told by the plastics industry that plastics are not a bad product for the environment. The more I got into this issue, the more I came to realize how much we are all paying, both environmentally and financially, to cover up to Band-Aid over the implications and the impacts of this massive surge of plastic products that have been pushed upon us by the plastics industry. And it's part of why I ended up getting involved in this issue and doing the legislation that I've done, which finally says to them, look, you got to be part of the solution. You got to be, we're going to hold you accountable to your recyclability claims. Just because something is technically recyclable, if it's not actually getting recycled under real world conditions, that doesn't help anybody. And so, if you're going to claim these things are recyclable, you've actually got to you got to make sure they're actually getting recycled. And in fact, if you're not finding a way to recycle these products, we got to transition to more sustainable alternatives.
What percentage of the things that we put into the bin is getting recycled? Is there a number on that?
Yeah, most plastics are not recycled. The one exception.
Even the water bottles and
the water bottles are the one exception. They are recycled in California at about a 75% rate. By the way, it should be 95%. Because they are highly recyclable.
Even people put them in the bin.
Most of the stuff that gets in the bin ends up getting recycled. Of those water bottles. Most states, by the way, those water bottles are getting recycled at about a 35%, 25% rate, so much lower. We just happen to have a better system.
People put it into that bin. Or in other states.
A lot of states, they don't even have recycling bins. Because the recycling market is so weak that a lot of places where they don't have the kind of environmental ethos that we have, it makes no financial sense to even encourage people to recycle. Because the market is so weak. Even those plastic water bottles are typically getting downcycled in the sense that they're being turned into something new, but it's usually something of lesser value. So that's one of the big problems we have. It's all very good for something to be technically recyclable. It's all very good for it to be easily recyclable. But if there's this in a market to buy,
it doesn't make financial sense, right?
Then it doesn't make financial sense, and then that doesn't help either. So we shouldn't be continuing to promote the use of products on the grounds of recyclability if there's no real market for the end product of that item once it's been recycled.